Hola! How are you today? I wanted to introduce you to Tyson. No, that's enough. This is our newest little puppy, and he's doing very well, Tyson, and we just love him to death. I know you've seen a ton of pictures that I've posted of him, but I wanted to introduce him to you formally, and so you're going to go play and lay down and be good for me, right? Right? Say bye. Say bye, buddy. Okay. So yes, there's been lots going on in the Somerville house since my last video. We have acquired Tyson into our home, and we love him, and he has done a world of good for Dawson, which you can see. Look at how spunky he is now, eh? He's just a ripping there. That's Dawson on a good day. So, and he was worse before, if you could imagine. So, sorry for the delay on this video. I had planned to do this Thursday, or Friday actually, and then got this nasty flu bug for a couple days, which kind of laid me out, and then we were working on the downstairs bathroom, which I can hardly wait. I took one before picture. It's such a small bathroom that it's really kind of hard to get in to show you the whole thing, so I kind of took an angle picture, and then hopefully tonight, lay down, Tyson, lay down, baby, go lay down. Hopefully tonight we'll finish up the bathroom, then I'll have some pictures of that for you today, or later this week. So what I want to show you today is, and this is overdue, I know as well, is I wanted to show you how I made the roses on Jess and Scott's guest book. And then, I think I've showed you this already, but what we did was they just wrote in a little message on the first page. And then these are the pictures that I took of them at the park, and then our guests, the first few pages, people were kind of nervous about signing pictures, and then they realized, oh, that's what we're supposed to do. And then they started filling up the rest of the album. So it's kind of a neat little keepsake for the kids to have. So that's the guest book, and then I don't know how much of this is going to get in the shot, but I'll pull it over anyway. This is the card cake, or the, yeah, card cake box that I made, and the top lid comes... and so does some of the roses. The top lid came off, and this is where people put their cards in, and then when we were done, then it was just easy to access the cards inside. So I'm going to, again, I'll show you how I kind of got the different sizes of roses, and then just kind of tell you how I figured out how to lay it. Really, honestly, all I did was look at pictures of decorated wedding cakes and just went from there. Just kind of started smaller, growing a little bit bigger, and bringing the greenery out on the sides for that. And just so you know, and I think I've mentioned this before, I made these roses using the table setting die from Stampin' Up. The die, the roses and the leaves are from that die. I love that die. There's a ton of stuff you can do with that die, and I just love that it has place cards, tags, the roses, what else is on there? The leaves. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. It's a really cool die. I really like it. So I'm just going to quickly show you how I made the roses, and thanks for sticking with me. I love you guys, and I got all dressed up for you today in my sweatshirt and stuff, because it's just feeling like that kind of a day to me. So thanks for stopping, and join me for the roses. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Okay, so I'm back, and I just wanted to kind of maybe give you a little bit of more of a close-up of the lid of the box, and you can see that the roses are different sizes, and I'm going to show you quickly how I was able to do that. And it kind of went like this. That's why that rose is coming off the side. So when it was mounted onto the layers of boxes, then they kind of cascaded down off the side of the box. Okay, so what you will need is, oh yeah, and then here's another close-up of the guest book, and I just did a small cluster down here to just kind of carry from the card cake box onto the guest book. Okay, so what you're going to need is your Handy Dandy Big Shot, and your, oh, let me do this well so I can just get it out of the way as well. This was one of our projects from our Big Shot Club, and we also carried that over onto that same rose that's from the table setting die onto the front of here. I put them on the front of milk cartons, on the front of cards. I use them all the time. So here's what you're going to need. You're going to need, let me move this over here a little bit better. And, you know, I always say this, my space is limited, so I'm going to have to do some shuffling when it actually comes time to roll this through. So on the tabletop or table setting die, there is this large, almost snake-like swirl. And you probably could make these yourself. I don't have the time to do that. And the way that it is actually set out, they're different. It's not uniform, and that's what kind of gives it that rose appearance. Is it's not just straight, same cutting. Okay, so to cut out the entire swirl, you need a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 square. So that's just going to go there. And then to catch the 2 leaves, I just used 3 by 3. Now, you could probably get up to 4 pieces on this because there's no score lines on either the leaves or the rose. But I'm just going to show you 2 because I'm hoping if I do this well, I won't need to do this more than once. But if you've watched my videos before, yeah. Okay, so then just put your top cutting plate. I'm going to pull this all the way back here to roll it through. Wow, no broken lights, no ripping the cloth apart. That's a good day. Okay, so just take off those snake swirls, and then these are my 2 bigger leaves and 2 smaller ones. Now I can just put all this aside and rearrange. There we go. And so here is, you notice how much larger this rose is compared to this rose, and it's just one easy step to make it that size. Now, to make the bigger one, just leave it the size that it is, and then what I do is I have it so that I hold it in my left hand and that the very end of my snake is pointing off to the right. And then just use your bone folder and kind of break down those end fibers. And that just helps it to really start to curl, easy. But be gentle. Yes. All right. And no big deal if you do that. Just keep going. Okay. Then start to twist it. And then as soon as I do a few turns, I pinch it like this with my thumb and my pointer finger, and then I use this hand to guide me. And really, the important part to keep straight is the bottom rather than the top, because I don't want the top to be uniform. And then just keep twisting and twisting. I'm going to try and do this fast so that I don't completely bore you to tears. What do you want to talk about now? Because I still got a little bit more here to go. Did you have a good weekend? Good. Good. What'd you do? That would have been fun. Oh, that's good. Did you stamp? Good girl. Okay, so once you get to the end here, what you can do is I have used the pop-up glue dots. But I'm going to try something different because A, we don't sell the pop-up glue dots anymore, and B, I did find that with the pop-up glue dots, they did kind of pull away after a little while. So what I've done is I've punched out a 3/4 inch circle, and if I didn't mention it before, I'm using rose red, and I put some sticky strip on the bottom. And then I'm going to pull back this part here, and I'm really going to push that into this because I want all those curly layers to stick into the sticky strip. And then if you don't want, what you can do is just take this part off, or then just go ahead and adhere that down. And then I'm actually going to snip that off, like so. And then that's the rose, okay? Now I did that one pretty tight, okay? And that's how it kind of helps you to get different sizes. If you're going to do them tight, they're going to be smaller. Now I'm going to see if I can. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, if I wanted this to be bigger, I actually let it all go and kind of let it bounce a bit so that it starts to unravel. And then I would do the same thing again. I'm going to reuse that piece because I only cut myself 2 here. And then just stick that together, and then that's the bigger one. Now remember, I did in my Vigor here rip off 1.5 inches, so that would have been a little bit bigger. But that's how that one comes together. Now to make them smaller, you can do one of 2 things. You can actually, like, instead of making it a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, you could make it like a 3 1/2 or 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 and then run that through the Big Shot, and that will make it smaller as well. But then what you'll do is if you just decide to make it the full size, I never really kind of had a system. I would just cut off a layer. If I wanted it real small, I may even cut it back to there. And then just do the same thing. So see if I can do this one without tearing off the ends. Try and be gentle. Again, so start to roll it. And you can see I'm not being really picky, right? I'm not trying to make it look perfect. Get your pointer finger and thumb at the top and bottom of it and use your other hand to twist it. Keep the bottom even. That's the part you want to worry about staying even. Don't worry about the top. And then just keep twisting it. And then what I did notice is when I wanted to make them significantly smaller, this piece here that's supposed to help you ground it once you've made your big flower, it's actually too big and too much of it shows. So you can actually, when you come to the end of it, even cut that piece off. And then what you could do is if you wanted to make it that small, this 3/4 inch is too big, so just go down to a 1/2 inch circle and go ahead and put some double-sided or the sticky strip on it and adhere it onto that. So again, okay, that would be the real tiny one, so you can see the size difference, right? And then again, if you wanted it to be fuller, just kind of let it go, and I just kind of always kind of tapped in it to help it unravel, and then turn it over with your sticky strip in, push it into it, and there's a smaller one, and there's a bigger one. And you can make them, I made them all different shapes and size, oh, not all different sizes, and each one of them looked different, which is what I loved. And you know, I would like push into them like this to make sure they were all sticking, and you know, they kind of fold down a bit, but I thought that just really added to the look of the rose. Then for the leaves, all I did was fold them in half, and these were Old Olive, and just antique the edges with Old Olive. And on whatever I was putting it on, I just put some glue dots on the bottom and stuck in my leaves here and there, and that was it. So that's how the roses were made for the guest book and the card cake box. I hope that made sense. If you have any questions, you know, as always, you're more than welcome to email me, and I'd be happy to do that. I already know what my next video is going to be, but I'm going to keep it a secret because I got to keep you come back to Roxy. Okay, so as you come back next week, be prepared. Nothing earth-shattering, but I hope you'll enjoy it. So thanks for stopping by. You guys are the greatest. Have a great week. As always, I'm here for you, and I love you. Bye-bye. Have a great week. Bye.